This is Kiara with Home Slice Adulting, and I'm coming to you from my big comfy couch to talk about Love and Hip Hop New York Season 7, Episode 2. Now, first off, I want to start by saying that during my last review, I forgot to mention Remy Ma and how happy I am for her success and her return to music. I think Papoose is doing a really good job with her career. She's not ready to have a baby, and she reneged on her promise to have a baby after their dream wedding. But my real question is, can she really make her music career last longer than she did back in the Lean Back days? Because I really don't remember any other song from her coming out after, Lean Back was real popular. So hopefully after All the Way Up, she has a plan to, prolong her career. But I'm very happy for her. So this episode, we start out first with Bianca, and I'm like, is she singing now? Her performance kind of sounded like singing to me, but she does have a very babyish voice, and she's very petite, and she has a good body. Yandy is there being supportive and trying to make business connections, and Bianca was like being kind of moody and kind of childlike and like, no, I don't want to talk to the DJ. And then she realizes that it is DJ Drewski, who labels himself as White Chocolate, and apparently they know each other from back in the day, and they used to kiss, but they never did it. So you can tell that there's some tension between them, and he admitted to having a girlfriend / assistant, which didn't sound good. I don't know if I would be happy being referred to a girlfriend / assistant, but he says that he's a good man now, and he's a changed man from all of his player days, but he manages to be all up in Bianca's face, so whatever. And she was right about saying, what kind of man allows his girlfriend to make business decisions. So I was with her on that. But next we see Snoop and Jay Adrian, and also Juelz and Kimbella kind of on a double date. And I was under the impression that Snoop didn't have any fans. I don't know who Snoop is, but apparently she does. So Snoop and Juelz are friends, which surprises me. Adrian keeps calling Snoop from The Wire, which I think is a little disrespectful. I think when she says it, she means to say that Snoop is like a one-trick pony. She's only known for that one thing, for being from The Wire, and she's kind of making fun of Snoop's success. So I don't like that. But Jay Adrian says this is her first time living with someone, let alone being in a relationship with a woman. So it's new for her. And so they talk about groupie advice, and Kimbella's like, we know all about that. We've been all through that, but it's about trust and blah, 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 whatever. So next we see Cardi B and DJ Swift, and they're in the studio, and they're flirting with each other. And Cardi claims that she doesn't want to lose focus. But they apparently, I think it was Cardi's manager who wanted to make sure that she was actually in the studio and not, doing something else. And so she posts on social media of them being in the studio. But Swift is like, I don't know if we should do that. He didn't say, I have a girlfriend who's probably going to see it. But he does say that, he can't say no to Cardi, so they end up posting it anyway, which will definitely come back to bite him in the behind someday. So moving on, we see that after the photo or video or whatever, Swift kisses Cardi, and Cardi's just very confused. She was like, I don't know if I kissed him back, and Swift is like, I still really care about Asia, but I just, took that opening. And I'm like, I don't like Swift, whatever. Next we see Snoop, DJ Self, and Richie D. They're scouting some talent, I guess. And DJ Self has his eye on this young lady named Sophie Green, who is apparently a VJ / podcast person / actress, whatever. We'll talk about her a little bit later. But when DJ Self said that he introduced Cardi B to the world, I had to think back to last season, and it's kind of true. So I guess, I guess he introduced Cardi B to the world, but I wouldn't give him 100% of the credit for that. But anyways, they're talking about talent and like trying to steal talent from each other. And Snoop is like, you know, there's enough for everybody to eat. And DJ Self was like, well, I need to eat first. And whatever. DJ Self is DJ Selfish. So next we see Sophie Green. Like I said, she's a VJ for MTV. I've never seen her before. She has a podcast. I don't listen to podcasts. I don't like her as a rapper. To me, she doesn't have a rapper's persona. So yeah, I wasn't a fan. But she claims that, you know, everybody knows Snoop. And when she sat down to talk with them about being interested in joining one of their teams, she took the advantageous route for her, knowing that because she's an actress, it would be more advantageous for her to go with Snoop, who has connections in the acting world, as opposed to DJ Self, who's more so strictly music. And it just goes to show that she is very business oriented. She's all about her business, and she uses her body and flirting to play that up. And she's clearly flirting with Snoop, but you know, she says later on that she's not into women, that she really likes men. So she's just playing it up. And let's see. Snoop says that she has a sex toy line, and DJ Self kind of got mad. He was like, I didn't know you had a sex toy line. And DJ Self tried to make it seem like Snoop is all over the place. Like, you know, first Snoop was an actress, and now she has a sex toy line, and now she's doing a music label. And he's like, you know, she's all over the place. But I think he was just mad that that Sophie Green was more interested in Snoop's offer than his. And so, yeah, when she mentions the sex toy line, Sophie Green talks about the podcast being about sex. And so it would be a good fit. Next, we see Sky. We meet Sky for the first time, who is DJ Drewski's girlfriend / assistant. And Drewski has some wandering eyes, but whatever. Sky's feet were super white. I don't know if it was just she was ashy or if she just really isn't tan in that area, but it didn't look good in those shoes. She knows about his past with Bianca, and she's concerned that he never brought up the fact that he went to her showcase. And see, that's the thing. When you're in a relationship with somebody who's had a past that involves cheating or being a player, if you are the player or the person who has cheated, you have to find ways to reassure the person that you're with that you're not like that anymore if you want them to trust you. So if you have to let them know your whereabouts, do it. If you have to reassure them in other ways, make sure that you give them a phone call. If you're going to be late, make sure you know, make sure that they know that you're doing the right thing. Because when you hide stuff, when you show up late and you don't call, as we'll see later with Kimbella and Juelz Santana, the person automatically thinks the worst, and whatever progress you've made towards shoring up your relationship, you know, go backwards in that progress. So anyways, DJ Drewski is like, you know, flirting is good for business, and flirting is never good for business. That's, you know, half the drama on Love and Hip Hop is about flirting and how it messes up your business, but whatever. So next we see Kimbella and the kids at this little lunch, and you know, all the kids are cute, and Kimbella said that she planned a luncheon, and Juelz Santana didn't come home till 7 o'clock in the morning, and so she was pissed about that. And once he finally showed up, she excused the kids and had a conversation with him. And he claims that he came home so early in the morning because his phone had died, and he was, you know, into the music and didn't realize how late it had got. And he feels like she doesn't understand the nature of his work, but he also doesn't understand her need for security, you know, based on their past. And that's, you know, all I was saying earlier. I mean, I do think that she needs to be a little bit more understanding of his work now that he is trying to, you know, put food on the table using music. But he also needs to know that coming home at 7 in the morning, she said she was worried that he was cheating on her when, you know, if you have a trusting relationship, if your man doesn't come home and doesn't call till 7 in the morning, you're actually worried about his safety. So he needs to make that transition to make her feel better so that she won't be so nuts and so crazy all the time. And she says that she wants to talk to this artist named John Depp about not bringing girls around at the studio. So we'll see that later. So next we see Remy, Papoose, and the family. And Remy sees that Papoose' new prospective clients are their children. And Remy, I think she's under the impression that neither of them have expressed interest in being musicians before, and that they think it's going to be easy because they have parents who are rappers, and that they believe that they're going to have instant success, and that they're not going to have to struggle the way that regular artists will. And I think Remy was giving them the real deal. I mean, if you watch Growing Up Hip Hop, which I watch periodically, we know that children of successful rappers rarely make it to stand on their own in the rap game. You know, one, because they have a lot to prove, and two, because they're usually not as good or as raw, or don't have the lifestyle to back up the lyrics that their parents had, because their parents' success affords them a better lifestyle. So I don't know how well her children are going to do, and Remy was just giving them, you know, real talk, while Papoose was like, you know, you're shattering their dreams. But Papoose wants to develop them and give them a chance the same way somebody took a chance on Remy and Papoose. And so next we see Bianca and Cardi B sitting down to have a drink, and they talk about Drewski and how Drew was a player, but they never slept with one another. And Bianca says that she's gonna steal Drewski away from Sky, the girlfriend assistant. But I don't think Drewski is worth stealing. So next, Bianca asked about Cardi's boo. And Cardi was like, you know, ain't nothing going on with Tommy. And Bianca said, I'm not talking about Tommy. I'm talking about your producer, Swift. And so she tells Bianca that they kissed in the studio. And Bianca had the nerve to say that that's cheating. Now, in my eyes, kissing somebody else is cheating, but in that instance he kissed her, so I would give her a little bit of a pass as long as she does the right thing by Tommy. That's a little touchy topic. But anyways, the problem I have with Bianca saying that that's cheating is that she just said that she was going to steal somebody else's man from them. Now, is that not cheating as well? Bianca, whatever, that's hypocritical. So next we see Snoop and Sophie Green at the podcast, and there's strawberries, and they're rubbing them on each other's lips and dipping them in alcoholic beverages, and there's talk of sex toys. And initially Snoop went there to sell, you know, some toys from her toy line, and things just got a little inappropriate. And while I wouldn't necessarily classify it as cheating, I think women sometimes are more upset about the way things look than the way things are. I feel like J. Adrian knew that there was probably nothing that actually happened, but it was inappropriate for them to be doing something that involved sexual innuendo and to post it on social media and to make J. Adrian look stupid as Snoop's girlfriend. And so to me, I think J. Adrian was more embarrassed by Snoop's behavior. So yeah. So moving on, I don't really like Sophie Green. I think she is, in addition to J. Adrian using Snoop for her career, I think that Sophie Green is playing up the flirting and the sexual innuendo to further her own career as well. So I think everybody's just using Snoop. But next we see Juelz in the studio with John Depp and another guy who I don't really know, and they're in there with like just two girls, and Kimbella kicks in the door and she pops up and she's like, hey, you ladies, get out so I can talk to Juelz and John. And she tells John, like, you know, he's a changed man. I don't need you bringing these little ladies around my man. And so she tells him to get out. And so she talks to Juelz, and I think Kimbella is just a toned down version of Brandy from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, and I really think that she needs to cut it out. It's it doesn't look good on her, and even though I don't know everything that happened in their relationship besides he cheated on her, I do feel that Juelz has changed. But if she doesn't start treating him like she trusts him, she can push him over the edge to where he just doesn't care anymore and goes back to his cheating ways. So be careful, Kimbella, be careful. Sidebar, Stevie J is getting his own show. Please let it just be one season. I don't want to see that. Moving on, we're back to Remy, Papoose, and the family, and the kids get up to rap, and and they're using profanity, and they're talking about things that Remy knows that they haven't really experienced, like shooting guns and swiping credit cards. And Remy is like, when did we, you know, agree on cursing? And Papoose is just like, you know, they're just expressing themselves, they're just kids. And Remy is like, you know, she wasn't feeling that. But I think because she heard what she heard, that she wanted to help them advance their careers, and she decided to set up some studio time for them to actually create a song. So I thought that was sweet. And she recorded them on the low while they were paying attention, so I thought that was cute. But it was good to see them in like a family environment. And by the way, I thought that the boy did much better than the girl did, but whatever. Next we see J. Adrian and Snoop, and we see J. Adrian reviewing the video on social media, and J. Adrian is packing her bags because she's tired of it. Apparently this is not the first time. And Snoop comes home and doesn't want her to go. She wants to splain herself. She needs to splain herself. And Snoop is like, you know, I already know that she saw it, so when I came home I already knew I was going to be in the Doug house. And I'm like, the Doug house? What is a Doug house? Like do 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 do. No, what is a Doug house? Anyways, yeah, they get into this big blowout, this big argument. J. Adrian was saying, I did not leave my family behind in Chicago just to be with here with you so you can do stuff like this to me. And Snoop kept trying to get her to be quiet so she could explain herself, and it wasn't really working. And I think that this argument is actually less contrived than the other little blowout that J. Adrian had at the restaurant when those fans came up to Snoop. So this argument looked real to me. So that's the end of the episode. Next time we can look forward to Drew, Bianca, and Sky getting into it, and Cardi B snitches. Never took her for a snitch. But anyways, we see relationship problems that Snoop and Juelz are having with J. Adrian and Kimbella. And we also have baby mama drama with Yandy. So thank you guys for watching. I think I'm doing good at keeping my reviews down, so I won't keep you much longer. Peace out, home slices, and catch some of my other videos. Bye.